go time. Hi crew, namaste. Hope everyone is well. Just gonna do a little movement today, so why don't we just get right into it. Come to the top of your mat if you have blocks. Blocks on either side of your mat, please. Or one block on one side, doesn't matter. So feet hip width apart. Let's just bring hands to heart space. Ground the feet down, close the eyes. Allow the pressure of the feet to go into the earth and then have that equally distributed back up the legs, into the pelvis, little tuck of the pubic bone up towards the navel, tailbone down towards the floor, extending out of the lumbar spine into the sternum, open up the heart space, and then hands here, a little bit of pressure, the thumbs, or a little bit of sensation of the thumbs touching the heart. Chin is tucked slightly, crown is lifted to the sky. Shoulders relaxed, face relaxed. Now we'll just take a few breaths. So breathe in deeply through the nose. Fully feel that rib cage expand both laterally and feel the belly kind of open as the diaphragm drops down. And exhale through the mouth. Let's do 4 or 5 or 6. Inhale through the nose. Everything opening. Exhale through the mouth. Good. Inhale through the nose, into the belly, into the ribs. Exhale. Let's go a couple more. Big inhale. Feel and expand. And exhale. Let's call that one more. Big breath in. Big deep expansion. The abdomen, lower ribs. Maybe pause here for a moment. Hold. And release. Okay, hands down by your sides. Palms forward, thumbs out, heart open. So inhaling, stretching tall, lifting up. Good. Exhaling, hinging from the hip joints to the floor. Just repeat that movement pattern a few times. Inhale to the sky. Open the shoulders, the heart, the chest. Exhale, hinging. Inhale, lift, reach and rise, open. Exhale. Couple more. Inhale, lifting up. And soften down. Inhale, lifting up, reach and lift. And exhaling. Halfway lift, stretch the crown forward, stretch the tailbone back, elongate the spine, telescoping the spine. And exhale, soften, hands surrendering to the earth. Lengthen on an inhale, crown forward, tail back, chin tucked. Exhale. Simple movements, lots of breath. Let's go 3 more. Inhale, lengthen. And breathe out. Feeling that in the back of the body, the hamstrings. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more. Lengthen. Big breath in. This time as you exhale, step your right foot back. So high lunge. Let's inhale. Crescent lunge. Drawing the elbows inwards as you lengthen out through the sternum. Stretch the fingers. Open the hands. Stay and breathe. Challenge yourself by trying to straighten this right leg a little bit more. Pop the back of this right knee towards the sky. As you do so, you'll feel something going on in the front of your right hip. See if you can just subtly draw that right hip forward, so opening up the right hip flexor. Let's find a twist as the right hand goes down. Ground that hand directly under your right shoulder. Feel firm and rooted in the feet. Inhale, open up, left hand to the sky. Gaze following it down the length of the fingers, the arm. Use your right hand to propel yourself into the chest, or use your right hand to strengthen in the earth to rotate through the spine, through the ribs, stretching the left hand. Good. Ground the right hand. Come to the outside surface of the right foot. Glide your left foot back, side plank. You can modify it by placing your right knee down if you like, maybe stacking the feet, maybe lifting the left leg. Squeeze the left shoulder open, breathe. Breathe for 3, 2, 1. Let's drop the left hand, left foot, high plank pose, feet hip width apart. Shoulders over wrists, engage the core. So kind of the same posture of that standing alignment, that integration we did. A little bit of pubic bone tucked towards the navel. Draw the elbows in, heart stays open. Big breath in, exhale, lower. Hold this for 3, 2, 1. Press up, lift back. Downward facing dog. Take a few breaths here, stretch it out, pedal the feet, heels towards the floor. It's not imperative that they touch. Let's just come forward, stack the shoulders over the wrists. Pause here. Exhale, hinge back, send the tailbone back. Inhale, come forward, stack the shoulders over the wrists. Exhale, send the hips back. Let's go a few more. Inhale forward, stack the shoulders over the wrists. Note that your feet and hands don't change positions. So when you go from plank pose to now downward facing dog, it's just a lifting of the hips and ascending back of the pelvis. Let's go one more. Shoulders over wrists. Stack it up. Fingers nice and wide. Feel really firm. Exhale. Back to down dog. Now draw the chest through the shoulders. Just get a nice stretch through that upper back. Feel that juiciness in the upper ribs underneath each armpit. Okay, stepping, walking your feet forward between your hands. Inhale, lengthen out, crown forward, tail back. Exhale, just step your other foot back, left foot back. Inhale, high lunge, draw the elbows in, crescent lunge. Heart is open, so key, trying to lift this sternum up as well. So we talked about trying to pop that back leg a little straighter and subtly coaxing the back hip of that leg forward somewhat. Okay, squaring the pelvis. Elbows in, heart open, fingers spread wide. Good. On an exhale, left hand to the floor. We find our twist. Allow the pelvis to sink down, using the strength in the left hand to propel your right hand to the sky. So getting broad across the shoulders. Okay, then transitioning to side plank, same modification. On the left, glide the right foot back, be where you need to be. Let's lift and hold. We'll call it 3, 2, and 1. High plank to low, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Pedal those feet out. Okay, looking forward, find your feet coming to the top of the mat. Halfway lift. Release on your exhale, cascading to the earth. Open to the skies, you lift, press the feet, lift the heart. Let's glide down on our exhale, hands through the midline. Halfway up. Hands go down, feet go back. High plank, lower. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. All right, let's lift the right leg up. Send the heel back. See what's going on in your pelvis. Can you keep that pelvis square? All right, bend the right knee. Lift it up. Notice you're allowed to twist here. You're lifting your right hip over your left, so kind of stacking it up. Feeling the rib cage open. You're coming onto the fingertips of the right hand, or even hovering the right hand a little bit. So really feeling that right side body opening up. All right, let's glide the right foot to the outside of the right hand, using your hand to pull it forward as needed. We'll start to open into the upper back. Inhale, swoop the right hand around and back. Thumb is up. Squeeze the right shoulder blade in. Okay, and as you exhale, let's dive the right arm underneath the left armpit, stretching back towards that back foot. Inhale, swooping back, open the shoulder. Exhale, glide it under. Good, 3 more. Inhale, open. Exhale. 2 more. Inhale, open. Big round motions of the right shoulder. Exhale. Good, 1 more. Inhale. Stretch and hold. 3, 2, 1. Say a little challenge. Make sure your right foot is on the mat. Let's see if we can pop right up into a half moon pose. So lifting, balancing as we lift, opening up, left hip over the right, left hand, stretching, heart opening. Hold here, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Airplane pose. Squaring the pelvis, rotating around a fixed right hip joint. Strength in the right hip stabilizers. Breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Step forward, sink in. Malasana, yogi squat. Let's hold here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands down, feet back. High plank to low. Chaturanga. Breathe out. Inhale, upward dog. Downward facing dog. Nice. Let's lift into the left leg. Stretch that left heel back. Feel what's going on in the pelvis, the shoulders. Lift the hips. Okay, and then begin to bend the left knee. And here we begin to twist. Lift that left knee high to the sky. Open it up. Just feeling the rib cage on the left side. Stretching open. Maybe come to the fingertips of your left hand. Breathe here. Good, draw the left knee in, step to the outside of the left hand. Good, now big movements, big spacing of the left shoulder, rib cage. Glide the left arm around and back. Open it up. Exhale, go underneath the right armpit. Stretching to the right foot. Inhale, open. Exhale. 3 more, inhale. Exhale. 2 more, inhale. Exhale. Last one, inhale, hold and pause. Thumb is up, heart is open. Breathe for 3, 2, 1. Okay, here, a little more dynamic. Left foot grounds, hover forward, start to lift up, finding the balance. Half moon, a little bit of a challenge. Peel it open, breathe and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Migrating into airplane pose. Right hip beginning to come down, rolling over. Left hip joint, lift the right heel. Heart stays open. Lift and breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2. Step forward with control. Right foot grounds, pelvis sinks, hips lower, heart stays open. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands down. Glide the feet back. Cycle through Chaturanga, Vinyasa, upward facing dog. Squeeze the heart open. Downward facing dog. Nicely done. All right, let's do a little flow. So right leg lifts, bend the knee, open the hip up, glide the right knee forward, step between the hands. Right hand maybe finds a block or something, left knee to the floor. Inhale, spin open, left arm glides around, over and back, heart lifts up. A lot. Good. Let's breathe here and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhaling, spin it back. Right leg straightens. So Ardha Hanumanasana, half Hanuman. Do not collapse into the heart space, the chest, the thoracic area, all the same thing. Keep that space integrated. Stretch the left hand back, externally rotating left arm, left upper arm. Chest is open, it's breathing right into the right hamstring. 2 more breaths. Hips are back, pelvis is relatively square. 1 more breath. Okay, next inhale. Swoop the left hand forward, around, and back. Open up. Nice. Okay, exhaling. We're moving into a wide-legged fold. Okay, so let's do a little twist here first. So right hand down, ground down, twist around. Make sure your pelvis is level. Left hand reaching towards the sky. Again, maybe your right hand is on a block. That might feel better. But pulling that left shoulder back as you mindfully square the pelvis. Breathe. Good, left hand down. Rotate to the other side. Pelvis squares, right hand to the sky. Reach and rise. Open it up. Breathe deep. All right, let's drop into the left knee. Bend that knee deeply as you sink the pelvis. All right, maybe your right hand is somewhere in front of your left foot, left hand on your left knee. Working as always to stay strong and integrated through the upper spine, little twist, looking over your left shoulder. Let's go 2 breaths here. Okay, and we're gonna get into a quad stretch now as we glide forward. Left knee to the floor. Spin the right hand back, catch the left foot, pinky toe side if possible, thumb is up. Okay, and then doing the work to draw open the right shoulder. Breathe into the left quad, left hip flexor. Breathe here, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's release. Step the left foot forward. Malasana. Won't be here too long. Just moving into a crow pose or a crane pose, whatever your modification might be. So kind of bringing your feet about parallel behind your hands. Place your right hand down, your left hand, okay, pressing into that floor. Ideally, if possible, it's a little bit advanced, but pulling your knees towards your armpits, okay? So maybe some kind of connection there. And then start to come forward. Maybe your knees are on your forearm, your upper arms, your triceps. Coming forward, pressing hands into the mat until eventually maybe lifting the feet. Breathe and hold 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's flow through. Chaturanga. That was tough. Downward dog. Okay, left leg lifts. Bend the knee, open the hip, glide the knee forward, step. Good, right knee to the earth. Left hand grounding, spin open, around and back, heart lifts, right rib cage. Breathe and hold here. Good, exhale, hinging the hips back. Breathing into the left hamstring. Heart stays open. Breathe and hold. Good, gliding forward. Low lunge once more. Lift up. Try and pull the right thumb back. As you pull it back, can you lift more through the sternum? Dropping the pelvis. Feeling a lot in the right hip flexor. The upper back lifting, using muscles in the upper back to lift the heart. 1 more breath. Okay, exhaling, moving into our wide-legged position. Let's just go ahead and come up, float up, palms up. So pulling open. Just think all the time, rotating open through the sternum, or through the upper back, opens the sternum. A little bit of an awkward camera angle. Sorry, if I move, I'll probably get tripped up. So pull back, like so, heart lifts, and then we'll just glide to the left. So palms are up, trying to keep everything integrated. So imagine your pelvis right here, your tailbone right here, and this stack of bones right on top of the tailbone. And that stack wants to stay vertical, okay? Head above tail, sinking down, okay? Peeling the thumbs out or back, palms up, okay? Encouraging yourself to stay open, integrated, and strong, and full of oxygen into the lungs. Lift up, drop to the right, drop in, pause. One more each side, up to the left, sink in, up to the right. All right, drop the hands, right hand on your right knee, left hand somewhere on the floor in front of your right foot. Gaze is maybe over your right shoulder. Breathe. Okay, moving into our quad stretch. Exhale, gliding forward, right knee to the floor. Connect, spin it back, catch the right foot. Open. Squeeze the left shoulder blade in. All right. Releasing the right foot, left hand forward, left foot back. High plank pose. Breathe here, lower. Up dog. And down dog. Okay. So, that's going to be all I'm going to instruct for today. Just a little bit of a time thing, but what I would encourage you to do from here is just get into your floor sequence. No wrong ways of going about it. What I would do is probably encourage you to do just a few little easy little bridges, maybe supine butterfly. So lying on your back, feet together, knees out, and then hands on your belly, one on your belly, maybe one on your chest. All right, imagine yourself laying on your back or lay on your back, knees splayed out, soles of your feet together. And then just play with maybe 10 big breath cycles, evening them out into the belly, into the chest. All right, finding some peace there, some solace. From there, be really nice to draw the knees into the chest at some point, not now, but take your time. And then gentle twist. Pigeon pose is always an option, you know it. And then Shavasana. And be sure to really tap in to the breath and the practice of letting go of the attachment to the thinking mind, the attachment to the programmed thoughts that just come incessantly like waves into our sphere of consciousness, which are not necessarily the reality, but however they do affect our bodies, our sensations, our thoughts, our physiology. So constant practice of dropping away from the thoughts and dropping into the breath, into the body, and then this place of stillness, this place of reflectivity where we can possibly connect to what's called samadhi, which is basically more or less in my mind source or God or whatever description you would like to use, and then that place of stillness really, and then that's life, isn't it? To realize that we can do that a lot of the time. And one little story before I shut this down, but I found this pretty interesting. Been listening to this book lately called The Surrender Experience, and so it's written by this guy David Singer, who's a pretty admirable man, done a lot of stuff. So one of the idea is he's always trying to be aware of the narrative that's going on and not succumb to, I like this, I don't like that, but instead being aware of what the flow of life is presenting, and first step awareness, and then next step, okay, what's coming? Yeah, do that, surrender to the flow. So the idea though is when he was a bit younger, he was a teacher at a college in Florida somewhere, and so his practice at that point was to try and let go of self pretty much all the time. So try and stay in that samadhi, or that state of reflectivity, where you're really not paying attention to your narrative, your thoughts. And a story about one time he's made it his mandate, interesting guy, like I said, made it his MO to just kind of stay in that as much as he possibly could. So ends up going into teach one day at the college in Florida, as I mentioned, and had no shirt on, never wore shoes. So end up going to teach with no shirt, and he's like, okay, maintained his calm, said, we can either reschedule this class, or we can, if you're good to go, I'm good to go. So ended up teaching this whole class with no shirt on, which I thought was quite funny. But anyway, he goes on to just be like this business monster, really. And it's interesting to listen to the paradigm of the person that he is, this authentic person of more or less devout practice, to and as well as both and becoming this esteemed businessman. Crazy how it all unfolded, and all just kind of really the practice of surrender, which the book's called The Surrender Experiment. So I really enjoyed it, or I have enjoyed it. It's not quite done, but so far pretty cool, pretty useful for me, and pretty much everyone, in fact. Last little bit, chatting. My friend and colleague, Carrie McLean, traditional Chinese medical practitioner at our clinic, was telling me that now this time in astrological energy, or I'm not 100% sure where she's deriving this from, but is a complete time of surrender. And I think that that's kind of apparent. We know it. It's like there's no sense in resisting this whole thing. It's like it's a complete time of absolute surrender to what is, and it's a practice, really. We don't have our distractions so much. We don't have our things that we can aspire to or try to achieve necessarily, or so we have to just kind of surrender to the here and now, which isn't a bad thing, but it's not always comfortable. So lots of changes, lots of alchemization. Okay, hope you enjoyed that little bit of movement, and all of my chatting at the end. Didn't plan to do that, but there it was. Yeah, namaste.